Hi, this is Linz from Sweet Natured, and this is our review of the alternative dining venues on board Cunard's Queen Mary 2. As always, I'm joined by Mikey.
Hello.
Hello, who put the video together, and this is my first time watching, so let's see what we can see.
Well, as you said in the intro, Linz, today we're taking a look at the alternative dining venues on Queen Mary 2.
Yes.
Now, other ships call it speciality dining. It's no different.
No.
You're paying a little bit more to go to these restaurants.
Yes.
If anyone does happen to know why they call it alternative dining on Cunard, please let us know in the comments below, 'cause I couldn't actually find out why.
No.
So we're going to take a look at Coriander, at Nordlys,
Yes.
and we're starting off with Steakhouse at the Verandah, where we went for both lunch and dinner.
We've been here before as well.
We have, but not on this ship.
No, on Queen Elizabeth.
On Queen Elizabeth. So we're just going to start off by showing people around it. It's definitely the best known of Queen Mary 2's alternative dining venues.
Yes.
And from our experience on this particular cruise, it was the most popular because when we went here in the evening, it was pretty much full.
It was.
Whereas Nordlys and Coriander were about half full.
They had availability, definitely.
This is open for lunch only on sea days.
Yes.
So when we're going in there, I think it was day 2 that we went on this. You can see when we went in, I think it was about 12:30ish.
Yes.
Not busy.
No, this is lunch, yes, definitely.
Now, it's also worth pointing out that if you book in advance on Cunard, the price for going here for lunch is $25, and it's $25 if you pay on the board. The same applies if you go in the evening and for the other two restaurants. It's basically $5 cheaper if you book it in advance.
Sorry, you said 25 and 25.
Sorry, no, $20 if you book it in advance.
Yes.
$25 if you pay on board.
Now, it's a limited menu, but you do get the bread.
You do. And for a lot of people, that's worth the $20. You'll better see from your face before. If you've seen any of our other sort of food videos where we have discussed this bread, including the Verandah review, but it has appeared on a few other videos, it is, without doubt, as far as we are concerned, the best bread, not only at sea, just full stop.
In the world.
It's absolutely addictive.
I mean, it's so good. And
We do know people have been on who are not as keen on it because it's a
they-
bit sweet for them.
They like the bread in Crown Grill, so that's Ken and Lindsay. They love that one.
Yeah.
And then people who love the wake
Butcher's
bread.
Cut.
Yes.
They're very popular as well. But trust us, it's amazing. So for lunchtime, as you said, it's a more limited menu than in the evening. It's still the same things that are on in the evening. And from what I could gather, it's the same portion sizes.
Yes.
Because you had the burger, and I saw that in the evening, it looked identical.
Yeah.
So I had the Dover sole when we were there that day. Really tasty, all well prepared.
Lovely vegetables.
Yeah. Was it carrots? No. Was it broccoli? No. So it's something different. If you've watched the other video, you will get that, the other Queen Mary 2 food video. They had a bit of an obsession with broccoli, cauliflower and carrots on this particular cruise. The burgers, you can see there, you were struggling to get it in. Absolutely massive.
It was big, yes. And that's a lunch burger.
It is, but I said the portion sizes are absolutely identical in the evening.
Oh,
and
yeah.
My fish were delicious, perfectly
Yes.
cooked. The service is excellent in here.
Yes.
And we'd been in Verandah on Queen Elizabeth quite a few times, and this was the first time in it, and it was exactly the same.
Yeah.
Just obviously very different. It was nice to be able to look out
Yeah.
easier from here, but also people could look in as well.
They didn't have the rum bar for lunch, though.
No, that's a dinner. But we will be showing that in just a
thank
second, so
goodness.
don't worry about it.
Thank
You'll be
you.
fine.
Thank
That
you.
apple pie was lovely, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
I think at lunchtime it is great value for money. I say we booked it in advance, so it was only $20 per person,
Yes.
and thoroughly enjoyed it. And we'd recommend it. It's a quiet place to go. Smaller menu, so we've sort of scored it down a little bit, but 8 out of 10, I think,
Yeah.
is a fair score for that. Would you agree?
I concur.
Thank you. Before we go on to dinner, would you like to invite people to subscribe?
Oh, I would love to invite you to subscribe. Thank you, as always. If you already have done, it makes my day. Thank you.
And you can follow us on social media. And if you've not joined our Facebook group yet, just search for Sweet Natured Facebook group. And if you'd like to support the channel a little bit more, consider joining our membership. And there's a trailer for you to go have a look.
Oh,
So classy.
we are.
Dinner.
Oh, dinner.
Now, as you can see, compared to when we went in at lunchtime, a little bit busier already. By the time we left, it were full.
Yes.
And it was $45 because we paid it in advance, $50 if you paid for it on there. But you'll be able to see from here the size of the menu is substantially different.
Yes.
They've got a couple of upcharge options on here. English Wagyu steak for $30.
Oof.
And the fruit de mer, the seafood platter for two for $20.
Oh, we've had that before. And
We
it's
had
very
that before
good.
and it was lovely. And yes, you still get the bread. Oh. It just looks so good.
It's so good.
It's the butter. I'm aware this is becoming the bread video. But everything about it is just absolutely delicious.
Oh.
I just want some of that bread right now.
Oh, my goodness.
I'll have to just go on another Cunard cruise.
We will.
The food, again, is very good in here. I had the sort of lobster and prawn cocktail. You had the beet salad.
I did.
You had a couple of beet salads on this trip.
I've got a thing about beetroot.
You do. I mean, the one that you had was shot in Nordlys. I think you preferred that one a little bit more.
I did, yes.
But really fresh and tasty.
Yeah, yeah.
And again, a lot of the stuff that we've just said in the lunch review applies to this.
Yeah.
Service amazing, completely unrushed.
Yes.
They're not trying to change the tables round.
No knives, though. We didn't get offered a knife.
No, we didn't on this. Well, no, we got knives, just to be clear. We didn't have to eat this with his fingers. On Queen Elizabeth and on the other Cunard cruises, including sometimes on Queen Mary too, they will offer you a selection of steak knives and you get to pick your weapon of choice.
Yes.
For whatever reason, on this particular one, they weren't doing that.
No.
And it wasn't just for us. We know the people that went in and they didn't either.
No.
But we do know people that were on the cruise before it and they
Yeah.
did. So who knows?
And the onion rings were really good as
Oh,
well.
the onion rings are fantastic. We had the steak platter to share for two, and you get the short rib, which has got like a coffee crust on it, if I remember.
Yes, yeah.
And then a couple of different types of steak. I think it was a ribeye and a strip, all perfectly cooked, which you would expect. It's a steakhouse.
Rumbaba.
Now it does a couple of classic desserts here. The rumbaba, which we're showing now, which you had on this one, the cheese trolley, and then their cheesecake for two are
Yes.
all absolutely sort of famous. People go for them just for these.
Divine. But we didn't give it a bath. I'm sure on Queen Elizabeth, they closed it up and give it a swizzle. Or have I dreamt that?
I think you may have dreamt it, but we have got videos. We could go back and watch that. But I don't remember them doing that.
I filmed it. I'm not sure we did have a good video.
I had the cheese platter, and you could have had all the cheeses if you wanted. I think I got 3.
5.
I didn't get 5.
You
I'm
didn't
fairly
get
sure.
5?
No, I'm fairly sure I didn't. Really good selection, really good quality cheeses. We do like
One.
a cheese.
2.
3.
3, yeah.
There you go, I did get 3. Really nice biscuits with it, and you got your lovely rumbaba.
That didn't have a bath, but it was very good.
It is. We do really like Verandah. It is highly recommended for us, or buyers even. And it was as great as we remembered it being. Which I'm really glad, because it could have been that we didn't enjoy it as much, but we enjoyed it just as much as we did last time.
I like the location better on Queen Elizabeth, but it was really, really good.
But the food and the
Oh,
service,
yes.
just as good. And we've given it 9.5 out of 10,
Yes,
which I think is a fair score.
for the bread.
Next up, we're going to the alternative dining venue where Nordlys and Coriander are. And I just thought I'd show you it during the day very quickly, because it's part of
Oh.
King's Court.
Yes.
Now, when we go in an evening, as you can see, completely different. We met people on board who said they didn't realise that it was in King's Court. Obviously, I did, because I'd been and filmed in there. Now, this is the Nordlys one. It's only available on Queen Mary 2 cruises that go to the Fjords.
Another Cunard cruises.
Not Nordlys. They have on the other ones. They have things like La Piazza, the Italian one, Bamboo.
Oh.
They have, I think, a smokehouse one on certain ones. But because this is where we were going, it was Norwegian themed.
Yeah, oh, it was so good. I was really surprised.
Well, this was our big surprise one. 'Cause
Yes.
If you'd have asked me before which would be our favourite alternative dining venue, I would have bet money on Veranda.
I would.
You know, because as far as I was concerned, this was, you know, just something in, you know, what is essentially the buffet in an evening.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel like the buffet.
No.
The staff were just as fantastic in here as they were in Veranda.
They were.
I mean, you can say that throughout.
No, they were
Cunard
lovely.
anyway, but
Absolutely lovely.
just as brilliant.
Oh, the salmon.
Now, our tip would be, we didn't get the salmon to start with.
We made a
but it's a
mistake.
tableside prep, but we know loads of people who did. Get it.
Yeah.
It looked amazing. Everyone who told us about it said it was fantastic. For the main course, we decided to upgrade.
Yes.
We got the seafood platter for the two of us,
Yes.
and we got the reindeer pie for the table.
For the table. Reindeer pie.
And if you're from the UK, we can best describe it as the fanciest Greg steak bake you'll ever have.
Oh.
If you're not from the UK, it were a meat pie.
A very tasty meat pie.
It was deliciously tasty, wasn't it? I'm not sure I'd have been overly happy if I'd have just got that for my main course, because I'd have been like, oh, where's rest at food?
Yeah, it was a very small pie.
Yeah, but for the two of us to share it there with the seafood would be, and as you can see, you were so looking forward to it. Before we even got near the seafood, you were like, I'm in here. Straight into the pie.
I'm going with the reindeer pie. I was being authentic to the surroundings.
Yeah, you were trying the Norwegian food. It were good.
I really liked it.
But look at the size of the prawns.
They were huge.
The seafood platter is probably the best value seafood platter we've ever had anywhere.
You know what? Compared to what we paid on the fish market.
In Norway. Oh, well, even when you add the $20 in that you pay to go in here to start with, and that, it still only cost us $60 altogether for all this food.
That would be each on Celebrity.
Oh, easily. And pretty much any other cruise line.
Creme brulee.
The desserts were just as good.
Oh, so good.
You'd nipped away at that point, but oh, look, you're back in time
I'm
for your
back.
creme brulee. I think you came back about 3 seconds after I pulled the camera back from that shot. We absolutely love this place. If you are going on a Cunard cruise to the Fjords and it has Nordlys on it, book it.
We loved it.
As simple as that. I can't recommend it high enough.
We even talked about booking it again.
We did, but it was only on another one day after we went onto it and we just couldn't fit it in.
Loved it.
And we give it a 10 out of 10. It is an absolute must-do.
Cheers to you, Nordlys. We loved you.
We did. Now, this is in the same place again. Doesn't look like the buffet.
This is Coriander.
So this is Coriander. That's their take on the classic Indian restaurant.
Yes.
And that's how they refer to it themselves. You start off with a taster platter for the starters, and then you pick your main course with sides. And basically, they'll bring you all the sides. But I like the premise of it being sort of that tasting platter to start with.
Yeah, so you got a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Now, I do think we've been to better Indians at sea, in particular Sindhu on Iona stands up really, really high. Mm-hmm. But it was really good still.
It was really good. It was really good.
And ultimately, again, it costs us $20.
Yeah, per person.
Per person. But you look at this platter to start with, and that's what each person gets. It's a good selection of food. That every piece of it, especially that prawn.
Those prawns were divine.
I could have eaten a plate of those prawns.
Yes, yeah.
The only thing that wasn't to the same level on there was the onion bhaji.
Yeah.
We've had way better than that sort of at home. But all the other parts of it were amazing. Then we got this like little
palate cleanser, didn't we?
Yeah, it was kind of a gazpacho soup type thing, but an Indian take on it. I can't actually remember exactly what it was now. But really delicious.
I'm not sure.
You weren't impressed. I liked
think it would have probably been better with vodka.
I'm sure it would have been better with vodka for you, and you turned it into an Indian Bloody Mary.
Yeah, that's an idea. There you go. Do that, Cunard.
Whereas I really liked it. Your face suggests maybe not as much.
Now, the curry was... I'm remembering it being really good.
It was. They're not overly spicy, so if you're concerned about going and it being...
Too spicy,
it's not. They cater to the masses in this. It's not saying, do you want it extra strong or mild or medium? They'll come at one part. And
it's gateway curry.
It's a gateway curry. It's an introduction curry.
Yeah, yeah.
The desserts, very traditional Indian desserts, and as good as I've had on land.
Did I have kulfi? I'm just trying to remember.
Yeah.
I normally do.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's lovely. But again, thoroughly enjoyable. We didn't rate it as high as Coriander because, as I said, we've had...
Nordlys.
As Nordlys. We've had better Indian experiences on cruise ships.
Yes.
But it were really good. The
It
service
was really
fantastic again.
We didn't
and
need to...
huge amount of food.
No, we were full.
We were definitely not hungry later that evening.
No.
And we've given it 7.5 out of 10, but it's well worth $20, and I would really recommend going on it.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the end of the video, Linz.
Well, ending on the bread. Lovely. Thanks, darling.
Is there any other way to end a food video?
No. Cheers, darling. Thank you for watching and have a lovely day.